There we go. Hello, hello. Back from the celebration. What were you celebrating? Poppy, hello. Jin, hello. Saku, hello. Oh my goodness. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday again, if I haven't seen you. Yes, your birthday! Happy birthday. Sorry, I forgot the exact date. Ohanamis. Yes, multiple ohanamis. Several ohanamis. All the hanamis. All of the one. Is the jazz too loud? I feel like it's too loud. Maybe turn that down a little bit. Hello. Okay, why are you making that noise? Stop making that noise. Okay. It's okay? Alright. Well, I feel like it could have been down a little bit. I feel like it's okay just to be down a tiny, tiny bit, so. How are you doing, Jen? I hope you're doing well. We're gonna be doing advice. Go home and playing mahjong at the local club. Exciting. You have a local mahjong club? I guess I've never looked. Maybe I would too. I don't know. I don't know how to play mahjong though. I never learned, and at this point, I'm too afraid. Not overwhelming. Okay. I just don't want it to be too loud because we're gonna be talking. Salty, hello, welcome in. Oh, Hanami. Hi, Mr. Mineral. Hello, hello. Saturday? Oh my goodness. You played it once. You played mahjong once? Did you learn the rules at that same time that you played it? Or they opened a physical location, used to just run at random cafes. Ooh. Good that they are like big enough now to do like a standalone store. That's exciting. Spaghetti, hello, welcome in, Hanami. I have been drinking water, but I will drink a little bit more water. I'm underneath a heated blanket and it's really warm, so maybe I should take that off. Okay, we're gonna do advice. I have compiled some advice, and also, as in, I've compiled questions, and also, I can answer questions live as well. It's like Domino's matching game. I see. I think I sort of vaguely knew that, but I know that there's like, what, like Rishi Mahjong, and it's a different. There's terms, there's terminology that I don't know or understand, which is fine, but I never took the time to learn. There's a lot of games I don't know how to play, actually. I don't know how to play, like, chess. I used to know how to play chess. I can't anymore. I don't remember the rules very much. It's become a problem several times when I've done puzzle games, because chess is a pretty common motif in puzzle games. So you play too much chess, really. You perform a Reiki over the Ichi and Uno your opponent. Right. I think all of those were wrong. I think obviously the Uno was wrong. I think all of those words were wrong. But honestly, you could kind of convince me of almost anything. Dad plays chess. You suck physically at it, but mentally, yes. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. Chess is interesting to me, but I don't know. Can't get into it, really. Alright. We don't have very many, like, pre-submitted questions, but typical Richie fan. I'm not a fan of any of it. I don't know. Your chess ELO rating is about 900. Whoa. I really don't know, like, anything about how chess scores are kept either, if that makes sense. RW is yawning. It's already 10 o'clock. Of course it is. That's the time I scheduled the stream. Anyway, I'm not sneezing. Total War chess? Oh, okay. I've seen videos about 4D chess, that computer. Thank you for the unblessing. Great. Wonderful. 4D chess where like you also move in time, and that's insane to me, and I feel like I would give myself an aneurysm if I tried to really understand it, but it's above average. You get conscious of all decisions being made and potential strategies. Wow. Good on you. Very good. Rebless, rebless! Thank you. I don't know enough about it. Anyway, okay, so we only have a few questions for advice. I said before I would also take, like, live questions if people don't mind it not being anonymous, although in general I know you guys writing style pretty well, so it's not like I don't have ideas about who writes what in these anonymous things anyway. 5D chess is where it's at. Maybe it was 5D chess that I was thinking of on like Steam, where you like move in time as well, like forwards and backwards, like multiverse wise. I think that's, well then wait, what's the fourth dimension? If that's the fifth, do we have smell-o-vision on? Are we smelling the pieces? The nights smell like hay. So, hello, Hanami. I hope you're doing well. Will you find a woman? Yes. I get that you mean, like romantically, but technically you found one right now. Ta-da! You lied? Oh, was your router finished? Do you have internet now? I suppose so. You've been in Discord. Although, I guess you could be doing that from your phone. But you do! Yay! Next time you say something anonymous, you're gonna type like, yo, bro, great, y'all. Okay, if you did that, then yeah, I guess you'd be hiding from me. That's fair. That's fair. It's just, it's not like I don't keep tabs on my regulars, my beloved fan drakes. Just a joke, you respect me? No, I understand, don't worry. I was just making a joke too. I understand. Okay, so, we've got some questions. The router you were using was 2 generations behind what you were supposed to have. Do you guys do like the rental from the internet service provider, like where you like use their hardware? I don't personally, but Blank got to hello. Welcome in, Hanami. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday. Yeah, I see. Yeah, ISP was a box. Yeah. We just bought our router outright because I prefer it that way personally. But go to say it's better then. Maybe it's better to do it that way. I've just felt like I have more control over it this way. Doing well. Thank you. I'm also doing well. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I hope everyone's enjoying the weekend. I intended to clean today. Didn't. Not even once. Not at all. Not a single task was done. We've streamed, we napped, we had dinner, watched anime, and now we're streaming again. And that's it. You know? It's okay. I'll take time for it tomorrow. But you know, I needed to rest a little bit. I think it's fine. Time enjoyed is not wasted. That's true. I don't know if I could say that napping was enjoyable necessarily. This obviously streaming is, but the napping was just kind of. I got tired. I was playing farming game on my Switch, and I got sleepy, and I fell asleep. And I napped in a weird position. I hurt my knee a little bit, but that's okay. Anyway. Napping is the most important part. It's how your body recovers. I slept so much last night, though. I slept really heavily, and, alright. I'm not arguing against sleep. Naps are a need, no questioning. Alright. Where did I just drop? I don't know what I knocked over. I grabbed something on my desk, and I don't know what I knocked over. Probably needed it. That's true. Anyway. Alright, so, let's get into it. Let us get into it. First advice question. First advice question. Thank you for the heart. What should I do? I know this super pretty girl who's so talented and cute, and how do I flirt with her? I'm gonna try to answer questions seriously. I think the way that you flirt with anybody is dependent on who you are as a person. Cause like, for some people flirting can be like cheesy pickup lines, and for some people it can be just like compliments. But yeah, try to approach not creepily, be natural. Yeah. So how you flirt with anyone depends on who you are, because I can't say like, oh, do this, act like this, because if it doesn't suit you, then it will show. It will be obvious that it doesn't show. You've been a little more flirty in general. See, that's good. It's good practice too. But if you think that someone is talented and cute, I mean, you can tell them that. Compliments, I think, are always a good way to go. Like Michael said, approach not creepily. I don't think any of you guys are creepy, but be kind and open-minded. Depends on how you know the person. True. A friend or someone you met in a bar would be a different approach. That's very true. Yeah. If you know someone well, then it's a lot easier to like give them a gift or give them a really heartfelt compliment. If you are just meeting someone for the first time and you're trying to flirt, you obviously don't have all of the information about them. Also, you have to consider things like if you know them from work or another situation where there might be like potential social limitations you have to worry about. Sorry, you're being quiet. That's okay. You're listening, but also making a pizza. Enjoy. I had pizza for dinner also. Enjoy making your pizza. Yes. If you compliment somebody, don't compliment their body, compliment their style. Good point, Zella. Yes. It's generally better to compliment things that people have control over. So, complimenting somebody's outfit or their personality or the way that they act or the things that they say is better than complimenting like their look. But I guess even in saying that, I like when people compliment my voice, and that's not really a thing I can change that much. So you could get away with it if you're a celebrity. True. Not good, but true. You get a 15-pound turkey. Hopefully not all by yourself. That's a lot of turkey. I can't even like visualize how much that is. Getting good at cooking is a great move for many. True that, yes. I think it's cute and charming. Thank you. But I do agree generally with Zella that complimenting somebody's style is better than complimenting their body. Or something that you can change generally. So, turkey split from 5 people. Okay, that makes more sense. That's more reasonable, yeah. That's a more reasonable number. Alright. Okay, this one was submitted while we were talking, but I'm reading them in order from my screen and not in order of like when they were submitted. So good one. How I holla at my sister, parentheses anime, for a date, fam. And I love the parentheses anime to clarify that it's not incest. Wild. I love it. I think it's funny. So that was not you. You're like really being defensive here. I'm not a siscon. Okay, this is similar to the last one. It really depends on how you know them, right? How definitely changes how you ask them on a date. But Nakubachi, hello, welcome in. Oh, Hanami, hope you're doing well. We're doing some advice. I was asked how to ask someone on a date. Is probably the more simplified way to phrase this question. I think if you know someone really well, if you've been friends for a long time, the way that you ask them is going to be different than, like Salty said, if you just met someone at a bar. But even beyond that, I'm thinking about, like, if you know somebody as a friend, you might have to specify, like, do you want to go out to dinner as a date, or do you want to go see a movie with me as a date? Because if you're already friends and you're already used to hanging out, you might have to be more specific. One thing I think is, if you don't know someone that well, if you're not already like good friends, so if it's someone like from work or someone you've just met, low commitment dates are the best, in my opinion. As in, like, instead of asking someone to dinner, asking them to like coffee or tea is better, because first of all, it's cheaper, you're not spending as much money, and second of all, it takes less time. So if either of you realize you don't like it or you're not comfortable with the other person, it's easy. It's easier to leave. You understand this may not be directly related to the topic, but you're curious about a question. Should a guy make his intentions known early on when he meets someone? I think so. My opinion is that everybody should. I think that it's the best thing you can do is if you have intentions to be romantic, you should say so. But honestly, specifically when it comes to men, and I don't really like making this gendered, but I think in this case it is. If you are a man who is interested in a woman, and I'm saying this like binary, because that's my experience with it, I think it's helpful for us if you tell us that, because there's sometimes confusion, right? Where guys think, I'm clearly flirting with her, she must know I have a crush on her, and the girl thinks, he's just friendly, we're just friends, because there's a difference in expectations there. So I think being told, like 2 to 3 weeks after meeting them, I think that's fine. I think as long as you're being respectful about it and not saying it in an intimidating or demanding way, I think there's no problem with that. That's my opinion, at least. And I have had someone do that in the past. It was when I was dating someone like many years ago. I was like still early on in university. Someone that I was classmates with had a crush on me and was sort of flirting with me, and I realized it. PJC, hello, welcome in. I hope you enjoyed your nap earlier. Hello. We're doing advice. I'm being asked about asking people on dates, or if you should make your intentions known when you meet someone, and I was talking about an experience I had. So I was already dating someone, and someone had a crush on me, and we were starting to become friends, and they said, like, I realize that you have a boyfriend, but I just want you to know I have a crush on you, but I'm respectful of your relationship, and I would like to be friends anyway. And that, like, being really direct about it made it more comfortable for me, because I knew they weren't expecting anything from me, if that makes sense. You're envious? I'm sorry. You want to take another one? I hope you enjoy your secondary nap. Heck yeah. Good nap. I hope you enjoy. I took a nap in between streams. I wish it was more comfy, but yeah, I think in general, approaching respectfully is good. Low commitment dates, like I said, are to me important. So yeah, asking someone to coffee instead of like dinner. I don't think that going to the movies is a good date with someone you're just starting to see. This is an opinion I've had for a long time, because you're not exactly talking to each other, and you're also stuck there for several hours. So if you don't get along, it's kind of awkward. Personally, I don't think going to the movies is a good date, but yeah, I think just try to be casual. That's my opinion. Soft and hard friend-zones, yeah. Movie dates are terrible. Thank you for validating me. Burger-chan, hello, welcome in. Hanami. Nice to meet you. My name is Lily. I'm giving some advice. But yeah, I think that, like, going to a cafe for coffee or something, or even just, like, going for a walk together, going to a park. Yeah, bowling, mini golf, top golf. Those things make more sense to me, yeah. Also things that are in public places. Don't ask someone to come to your house on a first date. I don't know if you guys need to be told that, but we don't want to. The answer is no. Take out a paintball. Some people would really enjoy that. I'm not one of those people, but some people would love that. Make them experience the joy of pain. Alright, are you good? Are you good? You get along with a girl before and crashed after 3 years in high school. Yeah. Alright. I mean, it happens sometimes. But sometimes the like, oh, do you want to come watch Netflix at my house? No. I do not want to be alone with you in your house. No. So yeah, those are my rules. Public place, casual, not super expensive. Took a girl to a first date to a haunted trail. It was around Halloween, so totally worth it. Risky, but as long as it paid off, yeah. If it's like, I guess if it's a public attraction, that's fine. Maybe it's just because I'm afraid of the dark, but to me, I'd be like, absolutely not. It is? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You've been hit with a paintball without protective gear twice. Zella. Friend got closer with his friend that way? Wow. Netflix Lily after episode. Look, there's nothing wrong with that type of thing once you already know each other and you're friends. Like hanging out and hanging out at somebody's house. But when you're just getting to know someone, it's a little odd. Believe me when I say it wasn't me who decided that was gonna happen. Right. Yeah. I'm just wondering what circumstances you were in that led to that. Okay. Moving on. Next question. How should I handle feeling invisible constantly? I think this is a question that is very real. First of all, I think this is something a lot of people deal with at one point or another in their lives. But I think that, at least for me, when I felt this way, I was very depressed and not looking at things from, how do I say this? Not looking at things from an objective perspective. And obviously it's very hard to do that. But I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings here either. But for me, when I felt invisible, I wasn't really paying attention to the people who were seeing me, or the people who were looking out for me. Third person perspective versus perspective. I mean, it's really hard to see yourself in your life that way, but like, I didn't really see the people who cared about me, you know? I wasn't paying attention to like the small gestures that people would do, or the small things. I was focused on the people who I wanted to see me who didn't. The people who I wanted like validation from and like attention from, and I really honed in on that as opposed to trying to see everything with an open mind. But I think if you're feeling invisible constantly, you need a change of some sort. Either a change in the people that you surround yourself with and the situations that you have. Like, maybe you should try to meet new people, get new friends. I say volunteer, but it's not like it's that easy. But maybe try to see something else, or maybe check in with yourself and see if you are dealing with more severe mental health struggles, because the phrasing of that, I think, is a little bit concerning for depression, you know? Like clinical depression, not just being depressed sometimes, which is normal. But it's hard making new friends. It is, but it's definitely good. Yes, it's very good. Leah, hello, come in. Hanami, hope you're doing well. I feel like a lot of people don't I think when my friends sometimes say like, oh, this person is being really mean to me, this person's treating me really poorly, like they complain about their friends a lot, I sometimes want to say to them, like, you should maybe meet new friends. You should maybe try to make different friends. We get the sunk cost fallacy of staying in relationships we're not happy with, for one. And for two, it is not easy to make new friends. But connecting with people over hobbies online can help a lot. So maybe put yourself out there and try to reach out a little more yourself, you know? You don't have a problem with buddy making. Wheelchair people is a different matter. That makes sense, yeah. I'm sure things are a little bit different. But, and you're shy. That's true. That also makes it harder. I'm not sure if I'm really answering this question super well, but basically my overall takeaway is like, try to see things from an outside perspective, and if you can, try to focus a little more on the people who do see you. And other than that, try to make a change. So, made a realization a while ago, the closest friends you've made through Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, getting back into it is awesome. Yeah, exactly. Getting into hobbies and sticking with hobbies, I think, is really important. Finding people with the same hobbies has saved you the past few years. Yes, exactly. I think that connecting with people through hobbies is like one of the only ways to make friends as adults. Like true friends. Because I know some, I don't like using this word, but for ease, I'll say normies. Some like normie people just have like their work friends, and it's like, yeah, I go to work, and then I go out with my work friends, and then I go home and I sleep, and then I go to work, and then I go hang out with my work friends, and like that's it. Those are the only people that they have are their coworkers, and I don't like that. I think that that's like not super healthy. So I don't know. I think getting to focus a little more on hobbies is better, but some people just don't have hobbies, I guess. Work friends, you'd rather have an arch enemy, true. Work and friends don't mix for you, true. I have a coworker who I do get along with very well, and we do have similar hobbies. Thank you for the dolphin. We have similar hobbies, but we've never ever been like, hey, do you want to hang out after work? There's just not been a time. Depends on the coworkers, true that. And it depends on your workplace environment too, because my workplace, everyone other than that one coworker has very different ethical beliefs to me, and I would find it very difficult to be around them outside of work. It's easy for me to just kind of close my eyes to it and ignore it when I'm at work. Well said. But some of the things that they say are things that I would never, ever be friends with someone who holds that opinion. So, your old coworker who trained you used to go out to bars all the time after work. See, that's fine, yeah. You were depressed when he quit. I'm sorry, yeah. I do have some friends who have genuine work friends. One of my friends, Jenny, she goes out with coworkers all the time and has fun. But I do wonder, like, how close they are. One way you can connect is through hatred for boss. True that, we do. We do indeed connect through hatred for boss. Including the coworkers I don't get along with that well. And I will also say, my bestie works at a bookstore, and she has found most of her like current friend circle through work. She used to work at, a big corporate bookstore. I can just say, she worked at Barnes & Noble for many, many years, and she made most of her friends do that, and like they played D&D together all the time, and now she works at a different, smaller bookstore that I will not name because there's only one location for it, and she's good friends with coworkers there too. So I think it probably just depends like where you are, and obviously everybody, maybe not everybody, but most of the people who work at the bookstore have passion for books. It's not exactly a high paying job, so a lot of the people who work there have like interest and passion in it, so they have like a book club and stuff, and like they get along really well. I've never worked in any sort of location that would have anything like that, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, it's cookies. Hello, welcome in. Oh, Hanami. Hello. We're yapping. Getting some advice. I'm trying to give some advice. Struggling sometimes, but trying to. All right, next question. Oh dear. All right. I bought a body-sized duffel bag. Weird start. But I don't like the color, and I want to get rid of it. I can't return it, and no one wants it, I think. How do I dispose of it? Asking for a friend's friend. Right, so you started with I bought, and then Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Weird to describe something as a duffel bag. If all fails, then trash. Salty, I think you're missing the joke here, but yeah. Odd unit of measurement. Body size, how to get rid of the bag. Alright, so let's say if you really need to dispose of an oversized piece of refuse, And and let's say you don't have access to trash. Let's say your town doesn't do trash and you don't have access to a dumpster. Wood chipper to cut on the size? Not about no, Zella! Oversized piece of refuse. That's awful. No. No, I think you gotta have a friend. I think you have to have a friend who's willing to help you dig a big hole, probably. But you're gonna remember that for an insult another time. Please do. It's very funny. Get yourself a friend with some gardening equipment, I think. Wood chipper also would work, but then you'd end up with fabric all in the wood chipper, you know? The bag, fabric isn't something that, like, shreds easily. So you might end up with a whole lot of fabric mess everywhere, and that might be a problem. So I don't know about a wood chipper, but moving it into separate, cutting the bag down, cutting the bag down into different pieces and disposing of it in different locations might help, right? Fabric shreds pretty easy last time we checked. Yeah, but then there's thread everywhere, and then it makes a mess. You know? So either get a friend, dig a deep hole, or cut it up into a bunch of pieces and then probably dig several holes for your bag. Bury it? Yeah, I think so. It's fabric. It'll decompose eventually. It's fine. Get a hold of some acid in an industrial barrel. Should melt away like nothing in about 3 days. Yeah, if you happen to know an acid supplier, that's probably the best way. I don't know where you would get acid, but that is probably the best way. 3 days. That's interesting information. Okay. Let's see. I'm in, but it's above the last one, so I'll answer this. Do you have pasta or pizza tonight? Pasta if you don't want your body to feel bad. Pizza if you want your brain to feel really good. For me, those are the answers. Pizza will make my brain the happiest, but my body not that happy. Pasta, body a little bit happier, brain medium happy. You used to know an acid dealer. You mean supplier? I think that might be a different kind of acid. Well, actually, no, yeah, it has to be. It has to be. Deeply good advice. Most of my food decisions are based on how much I want to feel like garbage on any given day. But, you know. Rigata, hello, welcome in, hanami. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Hello. We're giving some advice. Okay, let's see. Here's the next question, alright? There's this VTuber I really like, and I want to marry her for real. How do I ask for her hand? Oh my goodness. Okay, so the thing about streamers is you don't really know them that well, right? Have you ever heard of the concept of parasocial relationship? Yeah, exactly, Michael. So you don't, I know you're thinking again, not you. I didn't think it was you, don't worry. In this case, I didn't think it was you. The thing is, no matter how authentic somebody is on stream in terms of their personality, you still don't know them. So in your head, you have like an idealized person. You're thinking of probably the perfect person. Fizzy, hello, welcome in. Oh, hanami, hope you're doing well. We're giving some advice. I was just asked, there's this VTuber I really like and I want to marry her for real. How do I ask for her hand? And I'm trying to answer that. That's fun. It's all an illusion, kind of. Is it a mask? Well, for VTubers, pretty much, yeah. It's a mask, but digital. But no, it's more, I'm thinking, you don't know anybody's flaws, right? You don't know the flaws that the VTuber, you don't know the flaws that the VTuber has. You don't know, if maybe they load the dishwasher in a way that you can't stand, right? So no matter how genuine someone is on stream, you don't actually know who they are, like, behind that. You don't know if you could stand to live with someone. And that's kind of true. That's kind of true for What a specific example? I don't know. I was just thinking about something that like you would only know if you lived with someone or like saw them in real life. Because that's really the difference. Is like you don't ever get to see like my day-to-day real life, no matter how much I share it with you. You know, could be a secret murderer. That's true. You dream of marrying a VTuber or two, but it's for pretend. You know, you wouldn't actually want to do that. Yeah, see, I mean, Fizzy's my wife, but see, well, yeah, you don't get to like view the way that you wash the clothes. Wait, that's not my stuff. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. What if somebody's really messy? What if somebody like leaves all the cabinets open or leaves like empty cereal boxes in the cabinet, stuff like that. Things that are kind of annoying that you wouldn't know. We are married, that's different. Yes, OCD, alright, that's true, I do have OCD, but I just mean in general. Missed but can't place the winner shooting a shot. Hey, true. Yeah, you asked how to ask someone to marry you, and I'm telling you about parasocial relationships. Sorry, but it's true though. If unrelated, if it's a VTuber that you know in real life and they happen to be a VTuber and you're telling me that because it's their hobby and you're asking me my perspective as a VTuber, like maybe you have a girlfriend and she's a VTuber and you are trying to think of a proposal. Maybe I'm making this up, but in that case, figure out who her Oshi is, because every VTuber has an Oshi of her own, and give her a bunch of merch, and then propose that way. That's my answer. That's also not a good answer. These are both not great answers, but, you know. Alright, next question. It's also very specific. It is. Father Fist proposed at a gas station? Interesting. That's crazy. But, I mean, I kind of want to know the context there. Was he really just like, really raring to go? He couldn't wait anymore? Marry her Oshi to make her jealous. Maybe. You know an IRL VTuber and you troll her sometimes, she's cool though? There you go. It was a sentimental gas station. Okay, alright, fair enough. That's fair then. No problem then. I was thinking like he just decided spur of a moment to do so because he couldn't wait any longer and it was, I don't know, he was anxious maybe. Sentimental gas station makes sense. Alright. Next question. Oh, another more. She said, no, get up, not here. Love that for her. Love that for her. She really said, I will say no if you ask me here. Oof. I like the concept, though, of asking at a sentimental place. But, I don't know. I've heard enough about, like, kind of nightmare proposals from friends. I think like 2 of my close friends have been proposed to in ways they didn't like. One of them did get married, the other one did not. So they did say yes, but then they ended up breaking up later. So she said yes though. Alright, well there you go, it worked out. Good on you, Father Fizz. Alright. Next question is again like a slightly more, I would say very, very much more serious one, but how do I stop crying all the time? Which is very clearly a sign of depression. Once more, there are... Well, I say that. I guess it depends. Find entertainment? Maybe. I say depression, but I guess circumstantially, maybe you're going through something that is very, very difficult. Did you write this? I don't know, did you? If the reason that you're crying all the time is something identifiable, like you know that, for example, you have a really bad work situation or issues with your parents or something like that, then try to change that thing in whatever way you can, even if it's something really small. Like if you're really unhappy at work and you can't find a new job, make your workspace a little bit better. Maybe check, yeah. Maybe you can start trying to spend your breaks differently in a more relaxing way. You have a non-anonymous question. Okay, ask it right after this one, right? Thank you. I'm very interested. If you have relationships that are making you unhappy, try to change them. You can't change the behavior of other people, so that might involve removing yourself from other people's lives, removing them from your life, but getting out of unhappy relationships is something that is always worth doing, because you only live one life and you don't want to waste time with people who don't want the best for you. That's what I think. Self-reflection on the board says help. True. If, though, that's what therapy's for, true, yes. If you don't know a specific catalyst for why you're crying a lot, if you are just really upset and you don't know why, that is probably a deeper mental health concern, and at that point you definitely need to seek professional help. Meditation or spirituality could help. True. That's true, yeah. That's sort of what I wanted to say is like, I think that shifting your perspective is really the biggest and most important thing you can do for yourself. But if you don't know why you're crying, if you are crying for quote unquote no reason, if you feel like you're overreacting to things, if you don't know what is so upsetting to you, you may have a deeper mental health concern. Seeking a professional is worth doing. Speaking with a doctor, a therapist, a counselor of some sort is really beneficial. I've said it before. My opinion is that therapy can help everyone. Like a little guided meditation. I do like guided meditation too, yeah. Mental scars are most dangerous, true. Also, trauma does literally alter your brain physically in a very physical way. So if you have experienced trauma, which most of us have in one way or another, whether we want to admit to that or not, give yourself some grace. But I think seeking help is a good idea, but also trying to shift your perspective is super important. I've used this example before, but this is just an easy example to use because it's my own life and it's a smaller thing. I really wasn't happy with my work situation, how my office was moved to a location that is, basically a hallway, and there's no privacy, and it's cold, and it's loud, and I don't like it. I can't change that. I don't want to leave my job. I could leave my job, but I don't want to. So instead of that, I changed the way that my desk looked, I made my desk a place of joy because that's something I could do. Try to find little things you can change, little bits of your life that you do have control over, and change those. But yeah, I do think guided meditation is a good idea. Spirituality is a good idea. If you are a person who is not already part of any particular faith, maybe it's worth trying to experiment with spirituality or different faiths, different religions. I'm not sure. I think anything where you can be more in touch with yourself. Lifting weights is your religion, fair enough. That's honestly kind of important too, actually, yeah. Making sure that you're taking care of your basic needs is super important. I know we make fun of it, right? When people say like, oh, touch grass. But like, genuinely, like, get out in the sun, do a little bit of exercise, make sure you're eating, make sure you're hydrated. Like, these things really are important. I saw a tweet at one point that was like, it's really annoying how people always tell me to exercise, and it's really annoying that they're right, and I do feel better after going for a walk. Yeah, for real though, take walks. If you're able to, go outside. Yeah, exercise is a good way to get endorphins. Yes, helps depression. Yes, very important for mental health. Anything physical, and exercise can look different for different people. John Green, you think, said that? Maybe it might have been. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. Exercise looks different for different people depending on like your physical abilities. But like swimming, lifting weights, going for walks, doing whatever you can to be even just a bit physical. Like for me, I can't really like run. I used to like running a lot. can't really anymore. So swimming is a lot easier for me now and things like that. But, you know, find something to be physical with. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Also, there is that one image of Supersonic that says, never trust how you feel about your life after 9 p.m. Yes. Also, people sometimes say, like, do all my friends hate me or do I just need to go to sleep? Don't let yourself get into a cycle because you're not taking care of your body. Tetri, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, Hanami, hope you're doing well. We're giving some advice. Okay. So, I hope that makes sense. Hello. Hello, hello. Don't let it go to your head. Yeah. I think... Also, I do want to point out... sometimes we don't like to talk about this, but, like, every human being, regardless of... It's so much better than we thought. Who is it? Because I thought it was maybe just a random Twitter person, but... every person goes through, like, hormonal changes, right? I know sometimes we assume that it's only people who have more estrogen that go through, like, hormonal shifts throughout the month, but it's actually everybody does. We go through hormonal shifts. Don't you know it? Yeah. So if you're having, like, a really tough week, you might honestly just be having some hormonal shifts and it's kind of normal. So post-puberty, yeah, it could be. All right, Zaku, you had a non-anonymous question. Do you want to ask that? I just knocked over my tablet a little bit. Okay. Wow. One moment. I need to blow my nose really quick. I'm gonna mute for 1 second, okay? You just shorten it. You can add a second comment if you need to. Say you have a goal to achieve, and there's a proven method basically written down. Should you follow it or try to innovate and come up with your own way? Oh. I think that depends entirely on what you're trying to achieve and why. If that makes any sense. Because, for example, the first thing that came to my mind was, like, speed running. Thinking of, okay, I will look at that later, thank you. Is it short or long objective? True. I was thinking about the speed running. For speed runners, there's usually, like, documented methods, right? There's already, like, skips, people have already found methods. But because the whole point of it is to improve on the process, you're not going to follow it, like, one-to-one. You're going to try to find your own way a little bit. Could be both short and long depending on the level of commitment. Okay, interesting. You love speedrunning, both watching and partaking. Yeah, but that's just an example because it's important in that case to innovate. But basically what I'm saying is, why do you want to innovate? Is it to prove something to yourself? That's a worthy reason to do it. Is it to try to improve the process in general? Also probably a good reason to do it. If it is to, like, show off to other people or just try to, like, make your mark, it might not be worth doing. I think it depends. It depends on you as a person, what is worth doing for you. Also, if it's gonna make it harder, innovate to shake the status quo of things, then, I mean, go for it, if you have passion about it. I think that one thought that I had was, if you trying to innovate on it will make it harder for you to accomplish that goal, as in it would be harder for you to, like, stick with whatever plan, then that might not be worth doing. Like, for example, meal planning. People who are trying to, like, lose weight, there's the whole, like, well, you know, calories in versus calories out is sort of the default, right? But then sometimes people try to do like new things, like the intermittent fasting or whatever, or doing certain tracking macros, or making it more and more complex. And that might make it harder to stick with. So if it's harder to stick with your goal, it will be detrimental to your overall goal, then probably not worth doing. If you're trying to shake the status, no, become crab. Honestly, carcinization. That's the dream. Just become crab. Okay, say it's chess related. Okay. So in that case, it still makes sense to me, because you would be trying to come up with like a new quote-unquote meta, right? You'd be trying to come up with a new method. I think that that's fine. I think it's worth trying to innovate if it's something that you have interest in. I guess the only reason, the new way to present chess. Like new elements to the game, maybe? Could be. Basically, as long as you are not going about it for a reason that will be detrimental to your mental health, I think it's okay. Oh, as a commentator or something, that'd be fun. Nico, welcome to How to Be. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday. So I think, sorry, I know this is a vague answer. I do think the question was vague too, though. I think that whether it's worth trying to innovate or not depends a lot on what you're trying to innovate and why. Just as a way to push yourself, then yes, I think that that's important. I do think having a goal to achieve is important for a lot of people and is a good driving motivator for life in general. So if you want to challenge yourself, then why not? Give it a try. Also, if you try to innovate and you realize it's not working, you could always go back to the default way, you know? There's nothing saying you are stuck in that path forever, so I think give it a try. I think give it a shot. Okay. What about mixing the two? Yeah, I mean, I think that that's probably the best way to go about it, because starting from scratch when there's already an established method to something is probably really inefficient. Scenario varies, that's true, yeah. Start with the baseline of what has already been documented, right? And then go from there. So, like, saying it's chess related, for example, if you were gonna innovate like a certain moveset or a certain play, you probably wouldn't start by completely undoing everything for that play, because it's just not efficient. Use that as a benchmark, maybe. Use the established way as a benchmark, and then create your own way on top of that. I think is good. Hopefully that's a clear enough answer. Says as legs crossed. Yeah, I was moving in my chair a little bit. My chair is so loud. Alright, we've got the last anonymous question now. I've been struggling with guilt over falling out of touch with an old friend. I'd like to fix things, but I'm unsure how to contact them after such a long silence. I think... Zaku, okay, good. I'm glad that was a reasonable answer. Thank you. Oh, we just got another question in. Okay. I'll answer that after. So, yeah, making amends. I think that honesty is the best thing you can do. And being upfront with people. I personally believe, like, communication is key. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate the heart. So simply just saying, like, hey, we lost touch, and I feel guilt over it, and would like to reach back out, is really all you can do. Good night, Nico. I hope you sleep well. Oyasuri. Bye-bye. I think, though, maybe that's too serious of an answer. Maybe your friendships aren't that serious, and being so direct would be unnatural. I know sometimes people say to me, like, well, but these are my bros, and like we just hang out, we're just silly, we just goof around, and so they don't want to talk about emotions because of that. But I think that, like, if somebody is your friend, you should always be willing to hear them out, you know? So yeah, repairing is a mutual issue you need to sort out. I do agree. Yeah, if you lost contact, if you fell out of touch, and you'd think, yeah, if you fell out of contact, you lost touch with them, but they also didn't try to contact you, especially, then that's a double-sided coin. But more than that, I think just be honest. I think reach out and tell them, I feel guilt over this, I'm sorry, and I would like to reconnect. I think just be honest and open about how you feel. And I think that's all you can do. I think that's all you can do. I don't think being subtle about it is gonna really help anybody. You might just leave them with questions. Sometimes life gets in the way too. That's true. They could have been busy. That's true. Yes, that is true. People are always going through their own things. But they might be feeling that exact same way about you. Or like, do you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody act with you, they might be thinking you're busy and they don't reach out to you because of that. If you're both thinking the same thing, that's not helpful for anyone. So no lies is better, friends. Yeah, unless white lies. I agree with that. I think I don't like to get in the habit of having like white lies, but I also think little white lies are probably fine. You know, if it's for everybody's comfort, it's probably fine. But I try not to generally, because like I grew up with a pathological liar, and I hate the idea of lying a lot. If you really want to be chill about it, true, you can always hit them with the, hey man, it's been a while, how's it going? That's true, you can. I guess just like to me, if you're feeling guilt over that, I personally feel better addressing it than not. But I think that you're right that at least starting that way is good. You can't even say a small lie, because same, if you don't want to say, you just shut your trap. Yeah, I mean, I think that's better though. I just don't want to get in a cycle of lying like I have witnessed some of my relatives do. So all right, this is the other anonymous question that came in. Yeah, just whatever to break the wall. That's true. Yeah, it could even just like, hey, I've been thinking about you, hope you're doing well, and then after that conversation, perhaps at some point address like, hey, sorry we lost touch. I've been feeling some guilt over it and just wanted to reach out. Like, but I do think addressing the guilt is important. Oh my goodness, we have another question. Okay, I didn't even get to the newer one. Okay. Okay, I see. I see. Okay, well, yes. Hit him with the scam message and then tell him you got hacked. Tell them that you lost your phone. It's extreme. Yeah, don't do that. Don't lie. Okay. Remember the silly question you got about a super cute and pretty VTuber? Could I say what I said again? I could, but also there'll be a VOD. I don't know if I could repeat exactly what I said before. That was the one we were talking about, flirting. How do I flirt with her? All of my answers have been recorded, so my true immediate reactions were recorded, but more or less, super pretty apothecary. I mean, girl who's so talented and cute. How do I flirt with her? Yeah, just play the recording tapes. Yes. I think how you flirt with someone depends on how you know them, but I think compliments are good. And I was saying, I like being complimented about my voice, but otherwise I think complimenting someone on things that they have control over is important, like Zella was saying, over their style, things like that. Yes. Okay. And then, oh my goodness, there's some... How do we watch your VODs on YouTube? Yes. I don't always publish them fully in their uncut form. However, this one will be uncut on YouTube either tonight or tomorrow. Yes. Thank you. Okay. This is fun. Really? That's what it says. That's what the submission says. Okay. Next. This one came in while we were talking as well. My Oshi has been going through a difficult time for a while now. I've been trying to prepare myself, but I'm still deeply unsettled by the thought of losing her permanently. Is there any way I can manage these emotions more effectively, especially if she doesn't reincarnate? I think that is really difficult with any sort of media creation, but like any sort of creator, but especially with VTubers, with this culture that we have here, right? Of like, once a VTuber graduates, we're sort of not really supposed to or expected to like update. Whereas like if a YouTuber, if a flesh YouTuber stops making videos, they might eventually come back and like post online, you know, and say like, oh, I got married, or oh, like I'm doing well, I have a kid now, or something like that, you know? VTubers can't really do that, or don't really do that, maybe, depending on the situation. I do like that you phrased the question is there any way you can manage these emotions? I think trying to focus on your care for them, if that makes sense. Like, if you care a lot about someone, which I'm assuming that you're, you know, if she's your Oshi, you probably care about her a lot. You want her to be happy. You care about her well-being. And in that case, if someone decides to graduate, then that might just be what they need. Which I know is not a good answer. Like, that's not what we want to hear. I've lost Oshis myself. I say lost as if, you know, but like, there is a level of grief to it, but I think try to remember that, like, if that is what she needs, then that might be what has to happen. Hopefully, if it's someone who really enjoys content creation, they do come back, they do reincarnate, but they may not. And that is sort of just, I think, a reality of this space, this sphere, you know? Should be Dr. Phil clone? Please no. Yeah. It is sad, but I think that is the reality of this sphere. Alright, I think we got one more question, but I don't actually see it. I guess maybe we didn't. Maybe that was all of them, but my page refreshed. So... alright. That might be it, unless anybody has any non-anonymous questions they want to ask right now. I believe we're done for now. I've been thinking about doing these monthly, maybe. We did one in the past, like a while ago, many moons ago. When was that old one, actually? We did like ages ago. This is nice, thank you. Do I like red or green apples? That's not advice. But I like red apples. But that's not advice. That's a question. How am I so cool? Alright, I guess I did say questions and not like advice questions. The last time we did it was back in May. It was May 17th, I guess. How am I so cool? I am not. I am just a nerd. I'm a nerd like the rest of you. Vurix, hello. Welcome in. Oh, hanami. Monthly wouldn't mind if it does become a thing. Okay. I'm just thinking about it. I've been trying to think about what I can do to reconnect with my primary goals of healing. A very skilled and talented nerd, thank you. My primary goal is really to be able to heal everyone and to be helpful and to be like a positive presence in all of your lives. And I think doing advice segments might be a good way to do it, but we can't do them too often, I think. But monthly seems like it might be a good idea. So I'm thinking about doing them monthly. We'll see. We'll see. But not considering themselves cool, very cool behavior. Nice guys don't call themselves nice, you know? Alright. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you, Zella. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Zaku. Thank you, Fizzy. Thank you, Salty. Thank you, Ferrix. I know you just came in, but thank you very much for watching. Okay, bye. Remember, a smile is the best medicine, so I hope it heals you today. Oh, yes, silly everyone. Good night. Bye, bye, bye. Love you too. Bye.